All right, so we have another segment that we've been doing, I think, for the last two or 3 weeks, hot and cold. And I want everybody's feedback all the time. Whatever segments you love, whatever, just let us know in the comments all the time. Whatever comments you have, don't hold back. Make sure that you throw those out there. But we got four things that we're going to talk. Well, actually, just three things we're going to talk about in terms of hot and cold today. Um, Tanking in the NBA. It's a big thing, and we talked a little bit about it during the Anthony Davis segment. But how do you feel about tanking in the NBA?
I feel, according to the structure that the league is in right now, I'm fine with it. But there's a way to tank and there's a way not to tank. How long you tank for, and also whether or not you're trying to build a winning culture, I think is the key. There's ways. I actually think the Knicks are doing a good job of it to lose without trying to be losers. They're still teaching their players good principles or trying to. We still have guys developing. A lot of our young players are developing very well. A couple of them have been injured. That's all fine as long as you are not establishing a losing culture. I actually felt Philly, in terms of how they were coached, I said the entire time, Brett Brown's a great coach. These guys are playing hard every night. They just don't have the talent. So in those scenarios, the tanking actually comes from not acquiring the talent necessary to do better. It doesn't come from just being terrible in every way and not teaching your players, not training your players. Because if you're going to be near the possibility towards a top draft pick, better to go there than have to go another year without the proper talent. So I'm fine with that. What I think is the problem is the structure of the league. I think everybody who's not going to make the playoffs, their competitiveness should be rewarded in the draft, not punished. And the people who just can't do better should just be punished by being bad teams. And they should have to change their management or whatever. Too many times management gets away with terrible decisions and the players get blamed for it. And tanking is a way to fix often the bad decisions you've made in the past by just getting a do-over. And as long as it's not 5 years of tanking or something like that, 1, maybe 2 years if you need to do it, I don't have a real problem with it. I prefer my team to tank at least 1 year and just go ahead and get a great player, especially when the draft is as deep as it is this year.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with. I mean, obviously, to me, the structure of the league encourages you to tank. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're not tanking, you're probably not winning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a couple teams who could potentially pursue an approach that doesn't require them to tank. I would say maybe New York, maybe LA, maybe Miami, and those are teams that have cities or just their team itself is a draw from a free agent standpoint, and all they need to do is get one guy to agree to come there, and then if they can get that, then they can roll in other people. Cleveland was in that situation only because of LeBron, because LeBron's connections to the city and so on and so forth. But overall, most years Cleveland's not that team. So for those teams, they have a chance to improve without tanking. But overall, most people are going to have to tank at some point. I do think it would be not only potentially positive for the league, but I think just entertaining overall for fans if there was some extra wrinkle added to.
Yeah, like an NIT tournament for the teams
Yeah,
that are at the bottom.
yeah. At the
Yeah, I agree.
bottom, like a secondary tournament, like a play-in tournament or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe only the top 4 teams in both conferences are eligible for the automatically eligible for the postseason. And then the other 4 spots have to win in with these small tournaments, so you just basically break it up. And you have all of the other teams that didn't qualify for the top 4. Those teams have to play these small tournaments, and you section them off, maybe even by the division or the region or whatever, and they play these small tournaments, and then that's how you claim the 5th through 8th seeds. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
It would
but
be
I think more for the I think it's more necessary for the lottery.
for the lottery,
Because
yeah.
because the NBA playoffs is one of the greatest things in sports, as far as I'm concerned.
And you really just be extending it, and then you be shortening the regular season,
Yeah.
which I don't think anybody's talking about. No, keep all 82 games.
Right,
I
I
think,
agree with you.
after about 65 to 70, I think most of us know who each team is.
Yeah.
So if you could cut it to 65 or 70 games and then add in and play in tournament in the middle of the season, I think that would be fantastic.